Good morning, everyone, and thank you again for having me here, especially as I have the opportunity to speak about transport and how much transport is in transition right now. Mobility is a topic that we are speaking a lot about today, and we can say that mobility, transport, is something that is highly on the agenda of our government. We know that our competitiveness is very much depending on high expertise, on open-minded innovations, on experimentation, and on how we can make the best of digitalization. The breakthrough of digital technology is taking place at an enormous speed in every area of our society. Digital technology, automation, robotization, offer enormous potential to increase productivity and also to increase our growth. The future, our economic growth and capital, will be more and more and increasingly tied to how we use information, how we deal with intelligence, and how we create new services. In the future, robotics will be integrated in everything surrounding us. Artificial intelligence technologies will develop, and many applications are already in everything that we use today, in cars, in appliances, in our mobile phones, in apartments, in every chain of services that we use. Vehicles and passengers use and produce real-time information about the state of traffic, the location of vehicles, parking spaces, and how we experience the services that we use. So the development of personal communication devices, the growing importance of data, of transport services, data-controlled logistics, interconnected transport systems, the Internet of Things, autonomous vehicles, are changing the transport from the system that we know today. That gives us a potential for an explosive growth. Not only the growth of the volume of data, the capacity that we need to understand the openness of information, and how we can utilize an increasingly intelligent solution in transport logistics and development of new kinds of business models. How we succeed in this is really creating our competitive model and how Finland will develop in the future. Personal data has an increasingly significant social, economic, but also practical value. Organizations around the globe are busy exploring opportunities of human-centric personal data. Whole industries such as energy, transport, are already being disrupted by this trend. In Finland, we have been created what we call the My Data concept. It is a human-centered approach in personal data management, and it combines the needs that we all have in our industries, in societies, together with our personal rights to have access and to use and have ownership of our data. My data, and the core idea of that is that you and I, every one of us, should have an easy way to see how the data that is about us is used, where it's going, and that we are participating in the decisions that are made about our data. At the same time, we can see that there are great changes occurring in consumer behavior. These changes will also reflect transport and logistics. Owning a car or owning a vehicle is not longer, or in the future, it will no longer be of such great importance. It will be much more a question about how we share the vehicles that we need and how we learn to share our capital. This change will take place much faster than we expect. And especially our new generations will appreciate easy door-to-door services, and especially also possibilities to have access to different kinds of services that will be more important and go beyond owning your own car. On the other hand, the constantly changing culture in digitalization, interaction, and new ways of working are also changing our needs, but most importantly, our habits. It's our objective to create a favorable operating environment for digital services and new business models. So we'd like to see how can business models in Finland develop that are truly using artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and the growing role of creating services and automation. In Finland, our most important tool has been the transport code. The transport code is creating a new regulatory environment which enables a transport mode neutral, open for innovation, piece of legislation that puts together all the regulation that we need in order to create services in transport. It is combining the whole ecosystem, if you want to say so, for how services will be provided in Finland starting from the next year. It will put the user in the center, and it will allow us to combine and use services more effectively and in more diverse ways, resulting in cost savings for the public sector, but also in significant improvements for the conditions for users, citizens, business sector, but also for the society as a whole. Many basic societal services have already been digitalized, and this trend shows no signs of changing. Mobility as a service is a concept that is becoming more common, and it's strongly supported by the new transport code. For customers, mobility as a service will mean a wider selection of readily available services. It will also make sure that we make the most of using data and also create open surfaces, not between the private sector and the public sector, but especially between private sector operators. In Finland, the high cost of logistics and transport is an incentive to take advantage of the latest technology and to boost efficiency of mobility and transportation more rapidly than in any other areas. Finland must respond to the challenge of accessibility by the efficient connecting of transport and communication systems, and thereby boosting logistics, services, and transport. This will also give us a great opportunity to succeed in the production and export of new services and products, to make full use of it. Even today, reliable and fast data connections are essential in business and in our daily life. As revolutionary technology and technological breakthroughs are transforming our communication systems globally, the quality and speed requirement will continue to grow. It is confident belief that the next generation mobile technology, 5G, will meet the expectations placed on wireless networks as digitalization becomes more prevalent in society. 5G will enable wireless connections that are up to 100 times faster than the present and have a much shorter delay and a lower latency. 5G as a communications technology is a revolution. Maybe not so much as the technology itself, but because of what it enables. Transport will be one of the greatest user and advantage takers of the implementation of 5G. And this is also why we want to make sure that Finland is among the pioneering countries in the use or the commercial use of 5G. We will be starting using and creating space for 5G within our spectrum policies already next year. However, The cyber world is creating new kinds of security challenges. The significance of data protection and security is being heightened as operations and devices transfer to the web. When transport merges with communications, data system security will become the core of traffic safety. In the cyber world, infrastructure, activity taking place in it, and the transfer of data must be protected. User must be able to trust the security of the system. Having regard to this, it is essential that different measures shall be taken at EU level in order to improve availability of secure vehicles, services, programs at the single market. Aims to improve security and data protection should reflect the whole life cycle, including design, manufacturing, and updating phases, and the user should be able to protect their data by encryption and other protection methods which are developed in accordance with users' needs. Our greatest challenge, however, is climate change. And how do we find sufficient actions to meet international agreements? The transport sector will have to meet very ambitious needs. The emissions reduction that we are expecting from the transport system is ambitious. We need to reduce emissions by 50% by 2030, basically in 12 years. By 2050, we would like to see that the transport system is completely emissions-free. It is a great challenge for us. And in order to tackle this challenge, we have to take a wide range of means. We have to not only increase the energy efficiency of the transport system and improving the energy efficiency of vehicles, but we also have to make sure that we are able to change behavior, that we are also enabling and enforcing services that create for us a system that can be a true alternative. This is also why the transport system needs to take all opportunities that are available today. We need to work with data. We need to enable services. We need to make sure our regulatory environment is good. We have to work at transport safety and data security. But at the same time, we also have to look that we are working energy efficient and that we are reducing emissions from the transport system. Finland has been approaching this question in a holistic way. We are looking at the transport system as one complete entity, looking at all transport modes, looking at all types of services, and challenging the role of government, and making sure that we are enablers, that new business models can be created, and that we are also challenging the business community to give its best. And we are doing our utmost to make sure that that's possible, so that we meet our common target and make sure that Finland can provide an environment and an energy system for the transport which will be completely emissions-free. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a good seminar.